Hi, my name is Nick, and welcome to Nick's Picks Watch Reviews. Today we have a special episode here at the Horologio Trunk Show in Las Vegas, and I'm here with Brian from Breitling.
Hi, good to see you all today. I'm Brian Criddle with Breitling, been with Breitling for the last 14 years, and their Midwest sales rep, cover from Vegas to Minneapolis, so happy to be with you.
Awesome, thank you very much. So we actually would love to be able to ask you about Breitling. It's gone through this sort of transformation over the last few years with new leadership coming in and influencing some of the design, bringing back some elements of the designs from the past. And we're here at a case actually of watches that are emblematic of that. So what can you tell us about these?
One of the things that's happened with the new ownership headed by George Kern and CVC Capital, he's really gone back and reinvested in the brand's authentic designs from the 40s and even earlier, in design influences from the earlier decades. One of our groupings that we just launched recently is this Founder Squad collection, which features a couple of authentic designs that everyone who knows authentic watches from the 40s also sees the similarities between many brands. For example, here we have a Premier 40 chronograph with a pistachio colored dial, which this design and this coloring was really based in the 40s and really showed a return to elegance after the post-World War era. And another watch next to it is called the Premier Datora 42, which this represents the beginning of more complicated watches for Breitling of the day, and really was a prelude to other more complicated pieces, including annual calendars and perpetual calendars that eventually found their way to our cases. But this is such a classic look in Breitling today, and it's a long lost kind of design element which we had lost in the last couple of decades because we'd become a little more modern, we'd become very large, very just a different, bolder brand. Today we've gone back more to authentic designs and classic designs and more comfortable sizes on the wrist for the typical consumer rather than just the hardcore large watch consumer of the day. So.
Right, and I think like for me, that's I got into Breitling again with the Navitimer 8, now the Aviator 8, because of the case size and shape, and it was elegant. I still had a timing bezel, even though it was kind of hidden and integrated really well in. Very thin case, and so I was happy to see that. And then I was really happy to see the releases from the last few years come out, and especially the pistachio dial. I love that one. So what I love about it too is you get these pieces that have this vintage look, but you're not buying a vintage piece, so you still have this modern movement inside with modern technologies, and of course it's going to last, and you're not going to worry about, okay, well, how careful do I really have to be with this timepiece, because it is modern construction and design. So beautiful timepieces.
That's the beauty of modern technology mixed with the elements of classic watch designs really takes them into our day and age. They're wearable today. They have sapphire crystals, they have high-grade stills, they have movements that are manufactured to the millimeter of the tolerances, and the quality and design factors are so much more advanced today. Yet the classic design is what stays true, and I think that's what I love about the brand more today. You mentioned something about the Aviator 8s as well, and we do have something very exciting coming out in the next couple of weeks. I really can't break too much more news on that, because we actually have just asked jewelers to sign non-disclosure agreements for the announcement that's coming in the next couple of weeks. But I think it's something that's right up your alley of what you appreciate for Breitling, but also to see what you've kind of lost in the past is now being recreated in the future. So
that's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting news, actually. So how has the reception been? Obviously, I'm looking at these and they're incredible. Have they been able to stay in the case? I know this is a special event, so there are more watches in general available here than I really see anywhere at my local AD back in home. But how has the reception been?
Let me just tell you what, this supply chain shortage issue is a real problem, even for brands that mass produce watches. And when I say Breitling is a mass producer, I only mean we only make 150,000 watches a year. And if you disrupt that flow of product line over the last year or so with COVID or other instances, you can see that now we're finally feeling the effects of it. This is a perfect example of a watch that's been completely undersupplied compared to the demand. As a matter of fact, the pistachio demand has been just off the charts, and I can only basically help deliver a few sold orders at a time, as opposed to at times we used to fulfill all our stock orders. So we have hundreds of stock orders that haven't even been looked at, and we're favoring sold orders only. And it's really changed the dynamics of our cases. You know, people have walked in and they want to see these brand new watches in a case. It doesn't happen very frequently right now because the demand is so much higher than supply. So we've been struggling with it, but also it's great to see that when people realize that the watch is in the case, the time to buy is now. It's not let me think about it. It's you better act quickly, and not all brands have had that that ability to do that. Obviously, there's a couple of big green brands or other brands that have, if that watch is there, you better buy it. Today, we're getting more and more of that desirability and need, to get a watch that's not going to be in your case tomorrow and may not be replaced for months to come. You better take a look at it hard today. As a matter of fact, these watches I actually had to bring out in a special collection, and as soon as we're done with the show, I have to take them back because they're going back and they're going to sold orders immediately. And anything that we would generate here would be, a few weeks in delivery behind that. So demand has actually become an interesting topic today.
Wow. It's incredible. So are you on Team Pistachio or on Team Salmon Dial?
I am actually on Team Pistachio, and I as much as I appreciate the complications of like the triple date Datora, I still am a little more favorable towards the size and the coloring on that Pistachio watch. It's so authentic to me and classic. As a matter of fact, back when I got into watches back in the 1990s, one of the first watches I picked up was a Jaeger LeCoultre with a bumper spring movement, and it was gold with a green dial. And you don't see those kind of options very often, so when I see it today, it does appeal to me. Maybe it's my old school processing, but I do love that watch. So.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you and also seeing these timepieces in the metal, as it were. So that's all for this week. We will see you next time on Nick's Picks Watch Reviews. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. And once again, Brian, thank you very much. And these are fantastic timepieces.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
If you like this episode, please be sure to subscribe to both this channel and the About Time channel, give this video a like, and hit that notification bell to be notified about future episodes.